Hey guys, thanks so much for checking out this video. Today I wanted to do a quick overview, and I'm going to take this out, put it together, of the Klutch 60-foot power feed electric drain cleaner. Now, as a homeowner, I think having a little drain cleaner like this is a perk, very nice, because if you guys have one of your drains that gets clogged up and you need to go to the run to the Home Depot and rent one of these, you're looking at about $70 each time you rent it. This thing was just under $400. That was my price point, and that'll pay for this in no time. Especially if you're like me and you got little kids that put all sorts of stuff down the drain, and you've got some issues. So then, if you want to think about calling a plumber to fix some of those things, that's going to cost you some money, and it won't take long before you could have easily purchased one of these. Now, I totally get it. This is probably a luxury because not everyone, wants to spend that kind of money on this. I will say that my brother and I went halves on it, so that certainly helped out. He's got an older home, I've got an older home, and we both seem to have stoppages and backups often. I did used to have another one that was a little bit bigger. It was more on the commercial side. That thing was amazing. Unfortunately, it got stolen. So ever since that got stolen, I've been really wanting one. Talked to my brother; he wanted to go halves on it, so here we are. Um, the other thing that I wanted to mention was I mentioned that $400 was my price point. I did look at some other ones like Harbor Freight, Home Depot, Lowe's. The ones at Lowe's and Home Depot, they were at a higher price point. I think under $400. You didn't get nearly all the features. Some didn't have the wheels, some didn't have the handle. And I found some other things. But when I go over it, I'll kind of mention those sort of things. So again, I got this from Northern Tool. I really like their store. They're down the street from me. And so I'm looking forward to having it. So hopefully this helps answer any questions that you may have if you're thinking about pulling the trigger and getting one of these. So here we go. First and foremost, one of the key things that you'll notice is this is 60 feet. The majority of these that I was coming around were 50 feet. So another 10 feet, hey, that's a plus. Had a pretty good little motor on it. I've noticed that some were a little bit less powered. The power feed, I wasn't finding a power feed in this price point. So to get that, which is extremely helpful in the long term, it's just a big plus. Some of those that I was coming across, you had to manually feed, you had to manually pull out and put back in, and let me tell you guys, that will wear you out, and it is a pain. You can get stuff thrown on you. It's just a mess. So I thought that was a plus. I was not expecting to see that. Then the other thing, of course, like I mentioned, it's got the handle, the long handle, and the wheels. Now that may sound like something that's obvious that you need, but again, when I was looking at some of the other products, they didn't have that, so you'd have to physically carry this. And let me tell you guys, this thing is pretty heavy, so I certainly didn't want to be doing that. But one of the big things I was looking for was a half-inch cable. A lot of the ones that I was coming across were 3/8 of an inch. Again, slightly smaller, but again, if I could get that half-inch, that would be awesome, and I did. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and pull this out, put it together, and I'll come back and show it to you. Alright guys, so I've put it together, and here it is. I wanted to show you a couple things. First and foremost, putting this together, there was really nothing to put together. The only thing was this little handrail, of course, or this little handle, which you just screw it on from here. And then there's a box over here on the side that holds the tools, which I will take a picture of and show you. It's phenomenal. It holds all the different, blades the different tips, if you will, that you're going to use, and it's really nice. I think that's a really nice little feature, because otherwise you got to keep up with those. Of course, they're dirty. Where do you put them? And I've had some like that in the past, and I've just lost them. So, unfortunately, guys, I just got off the phone with Northern Tool, and I'm gonna have to be taking this one back. It's an online order. I don't know how that's gonna work. Hopefully, I did talk to the lady at Northern Tool. She said she's got a couple in stock, so it's no big deal. I just don't know if if they'll just give me one right there from the store, or I gotta wait on another one. Again, I'm not in a rush, but still, you get something like this, you want to have it done and over with. But seems to be the story of my life. I'll tell you what's going on. So I've got this bad boy plugged in, everything's set up. I didn't put the tip on because I'm gonna have to take it off anyways. You've got your on-off switch here. If you turn this on, you're supposed to be able to have this little piece that sits on the ground, and it's kind of poofy, kind of like a ball. And then you put your foot on it, you step down on it, and it activates it, turns it on, and then of course turns the machine on. But this thing was crushed, like in the packaging, it was crushed. As you can see, it's bent in half. I'm not sure if the camera's going to pick this up or not, but you can sort of make out where when they packaged this, it seems like the machine, like they packaged it to where this was under the machine and the machine was sitting on it the whole time, because you can see that big dent that it put in it, and it's folded right in half. I can't undo it. I can't get it to turn on. There's no power going on, so that is really unfortunate. I did get off the phone with Northern Tool. They say they've got some in stock. They said go ahead and bring it in. You can get another one, and they'll return this one, etc. Alright guys, so here I am. I was able to get a new machine. I got to tell you that the folks over at Northern Tool, both online and at the store, were super nice. I ended up, as you know, I bought this online, so I had to wait for them to open on Monday morning. I called them. They gave me a bunch of different options. Didn't make a big deal about it, although I told them what was going on, what happened, what my thoughts on, and they just flat out gave me some options. And I went with, because I have a store down the street and they had one in stock, they just went ahead and gave me a refund, and then I purchased the one at the store. So here it is. I got it. Big thumbs up for the Northern Tool customer service. So again, if you remember that part I was talking about, there it is. That was the problem, but that's the way it should look. So just a couple things in conclusion, guys. Again, I'll be doing a video maybe in another few months or year after I get some use out of this to kind of give you my thoughts. Just a couple of things I'll show you is I did just recently came across one over at Home Depot. They sell under the name brand, I forgot. I'll put a picture of it on the screen. But it looks to be almost identical to this one, except they sell it with 50 feet of line instead of 60. I think it's just a machine that they make, and all the different companies sell it. I did notice that one was just a little bit less expensive, which is fine. But it only had 50 feet as opposed to 60, and that was really the only difference. Everything else looked pretty similar. The concern I have is because the one review that's on there is negative, and it says that this tip broke off after using it the first time. So again, I'll get back to you guys, let you know how that goes. That's the only concern I've got going in, but looking forward to using this. Don't forget, if you like this video, be sure to give it a like, subscribe, and thanks so much for watching.